This is the Arana Nation reporting from Buffalo, New York. I'm here on holiday. Not only is it March break, but it's also my father's birthday, his 62nd birthday, so happy birthday to him. And I'll only be here for a little while because I do have to get back to Canada, as I do also have to work, even on March break. But with that out of the way, Doug Ford has become the new leader of the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party. What a night. What a day. This day has been so epic. I mean, it's not even funny. I never thought that Canadian politics would be more exciting, at least right now, than American politics, where all they're talking about is FBI this and Russia that and blah, blah, blah. Even though right now they are talking about the imminent meeting with Donald Trump and Kim Jong Un, which will be sometime before May. But anyway, the Arana Nation worked its butt off to get Doug Ford in there, and the Arana Nation is very pleased. And the Arana Nation believes that Doug Ford will be the next premier of Ontario. He will destroy Kathleen Jezebel Cowperthewaite Wynne and her sidekick Andrea Horwath and the NDP, which pretends to hate the Liberals but votes with the Liberals in the legislature most of the time. So there you have it. I mean, there is really only two choices. More of the same in Ontario. Kathleen Cowperthewaite Jezebel Wynne with 6% approval rating, or Doug Ford, a populist leader who is a people person who gives his cell phone out. So really, even if you don't agree with Doug Ford on many issues, you have his cell phone number. You are actually going to have the ear of the second most powerful person in Canada if Doug Ford becomes the Premier of Ontario. And really, the PC Party insiders did everything they could to make sure that Doug Ford was not successful. They pulled every trick in the book. I mean, really. First, they tried to beat him fairly. That didn't seem to work. Then, they tried to beat him by making it so complicated and eventually getting thousands of Ontario PC members to not even be able to vote, who paid for their membership on time, who signed up on time, but because of a computer glitch, the PC Party didn't get their memberships, mine included, and they weren't able to vote. And as a result, the leadership race was closer than people would have thought. I mean, I had polls that I created on my group with thousands of Ontario conservatives, and Doug Ford won every one of them. Big, too. I didn't get to vote, but you know what? That's fine. The Ontario PC Party can keep my $10 for all I care. But this should never happen again. This form of voting should never, ever, ever happen ever again. This was a disaster. Paper ballots only. Yes, they also can be a problem too, but it's a lot harder to rig with paper. Paper ballots only. This was a disaster. Thousands of people didn't get their pins, and I did a poll, a poll just yesterday going into today, and most of the people who weren't able to vote were Doug Ford supporters. So Doug Ford should have won even bigger than he did, but you know what? He won, so that's fine. Now I am calling on the Trillium Party of Ontario and the Ontario Alliance Party to immediately disband and join with Doug Ford's Ontario PC Party to destroy Kathleen Cowperthewaite Jezebel Wynne and her lackey, her sidekick, her minion, Andrea Horwath. The NDP Party of Ontario, well, first of all, the NDP in general is basically the sidekick of the Liberals. They pretend to hate the Liberals, they pretend to be more left-wing than the Liberals, but really, when they're in Parliament or when they're in the legislature, they vote with the Liberals most of the time, probably even 90% of the time. So really, they're just sidekicks, but they don't want to admit it. But the Trillium Party, and here's the thing with the Trillium Party, I was actually going to vote Trillium when Patrick Brown was the leader. Patrick Brown was a terrible leader. He's done. It's over. I won't talk about him again. But I was going to vote for the Trillium Party with Patrick as the leader. He was a backstabbing leader. He was just awful. We all know the story of Patrick Brown. He was a terrible, the worst leader the Ontario PC's ever had. Stabbed many social conservatives in the back, many conservatives in general in the back. I mean, with the carbon tax, he said he was going to have a carbon tax and all that sort of foolishness. So he's gone now. God bless him. God bless him. Now Doug Ford is in there, and I'm calling for unity in the party. Even if Christine Elliot had won, the Arana Nation would have endorsed the Ontario PC party. If Caroline Mulroney had won the Ontario PC leadership race, the Arana Nation would have endorsed the party. If Tanya won, the Arana Nation would have endorsed the party. It's as simple as that. The Arana Nation would not have endorsed the party if Patrick Brown had won, because Patrick Brown was a terrible leader, and I hope he knows that most people did not like him. He was a horrible leader. Good riddance. But this video is for the Ontario Trillium Party, which split from the Ontario PC Party because they could not stand the backstabbing of Patrick Brown. To all the people in the Trillium Party, I know many of you, Patrick Brown is gone. Doug Ford is a people person. He is a populist. You might not agree with things he says. You might not. But the dude gives out his phone number. Everybody, I mean, I have his phone number. I've given it out publicly. I don't have my phone on me right now, and it's charging right now, so I'm not going to do that right now. But you can go into my other videos. I've given out his phone number. He gives his phone number out. If you have problems in Ontario, if you have issues you want to address, things you want him to address as leader of the opposition or premier if he wins, you can do that. I mean, he does not agree with the carbon tax. He wants to review the sex ed. I mean, he's going to have Tanya Grenic-Allen. I hope that she becomes education minister or something like that. And with Tanya in there, he better do something with sex ed, otherwise she gonna rip him up. So that's it. And you can bet your bottom dollar that the sex ed will be addressed. I mean, it was created by a pedophile, a convicted pedophile. They're teaching kids that there's more than two genders. All this sort of foolishness. It's being taught to very young children. I personally think the sex ed curriculum should be repealed and replaced. I do think that children should learn about these things. It's important if their parents say it's okay. That's the big thing. We shouldn't teach our children that there are more than two genders. We should allow parents to have consent, because maybe the parents want to teach them about these sexual things in their personal way. And, I think there needs to be an age limit. So those are the concerns with the sex ed. Carbon tax is not going to happen. I mean, the Fords are known to be respectful of the taxpayer. I mean, Rob Ford would haunt Doug Ford in his bed if he put in a carbon tax. Rob Ford was a respect for the taxpayer guy. And if Doug Ford were to turn on that, I mean, I have his phone number. I would call him day and night and harass him and harangue him and just troll the living daylights out of him. But I know he's not going to do that. And Rob Ford and his whole family Rob Ford would haunt him from the grave if he did a carbon tax. So the Trillium Party has no reason to exist right now. The Trillium Party existing would only help Kathleen Wynne or would give Doug Ford a minority. Now, what I was hoping for when Patrick Brown was the leader was for the PC party to win only a minority and the Trillium Party propping up the party to make sure that Patrick Brown's red Tory foolishness was not successful. That's what I hope for. But now that Doug Ford is the leader, I want the PCs to win a huge majority. That's what I want. And the Trillium Party is going to definitely prevent that from, well, it probably might not, actually. I shouldn't say that. I mean, the Trillium Party would probably not, I mean, I don't think so. I think the Trillium Party would get less than 1% of the vote now with Doug Ford as the leader of the Ontario PC. Jack McLaren would lose his seat. I think that Jack McLaren should be re-welcomed into the party. And I think the Trillium Party should disband. Just disband. Just say, you know what? We're done. We're not going to exist anymore. And the leader and the founder of that party should endorse Doug Ford. And if he wants to run in the party, he should be welcomed. If he's a clean guy and everything, Jack McLaren should be re-welcomed in the party. I think that should be it. And the Ontario Alliance Party, they should just say, you know what, we're going to disband. We're just going to end it. We're not going to go on anymore. And the leader or the founder should endorse Doug Ford. I know I will not be supporting the Trillium Party in any way whatsoever. Neither the Alliance. As long as Doug Ford is the leader of the Ontario PC Party, that is the party that I will be supporting. With that being said, there is a lot of rot in the Ontario PC Party. And the PC Party insiders did all they could to make sure that Doug Ford was not elected. And he still managed to get in there. I mean, even up to the very last, they tried to do recount after recount after recount. And he still managed to win. And you know what? I am not going to attack Christine Elliot anymore. I'm not attacking any of the other people. Mulroney, Tanya Grenic-Allen. I'm not. It's whatever. I mean, I'm sure Christine Elliott's upset. She looked upset. It's done. We're not. That's it. She should, if she wants to run, I think she should be deputy premier under Doug Ford. I mean, Doug Ford is somebody who cannot be pushed around. So whatever. I mean. And if she doesn't want it, well, that's her problem. I mean, it would make her look very, very bad. But I think that Doug Ford should clean up that party. All those people in that party who are saboteurs, I think, should be thrown out. I think some of them should even be locked up. And I'm not talking about Christine Elliot. I think Christine Elliot, I think her political, I don't think she's going to be leader of the Ontario PC Party. I mean, she's tried 3 times. She's 62 years old. I think she should be deputy premier. Give that to her. Let bygones be bygones. I know there are things that she did. You know, she didn't want an extension in the voting process so people could get their verification pins. And then when the election came and she saw that she didn't win the ballot, she wanted recount after recount after recount. But you know what? Okay, good, fine. Doug Ford still won. So let's respect her now. Let's not attack her now. I mean, really, what she did, I think, was wrong. But it's politics. I think I probably would have done the same thing, but maybe not. I'm a populist as well, like Doug Ford, so I would be on the side of extending the thing. But that's over with. There is no more attacking of them. That's it. It's now we have to go after Jezebel and her sidekick, Andrea Horwath. That's who we have to go after. We have to go after them. Because if they win again, or if the PCs get a minority, it's over. So with that being said, in closing, Trillium Party, Ontario Alliance Party, disband, please. Disband, disband, disband. You're not going to get support. You need to disband and come out publicly in support of Doug Ford and the Ontario PCs. That's all. That's all. This is the Arana Nation. Congratulations, Doug Ford.